So this screencast is to help you to understand how your presentations will go on in May when you present your service project to other MYP4 and 5 students. So the structure looks like this. In the first session, half of your group, half of your service group will present, and the other half will go and listen to 4 other service groups. So the first thing you need to decide in Friday's lesson or today's lesson, if you're listening to this on Friday, is who's going to be going to listen to the other groups first and who's going to be staying and presenting. In the second half of the lesson in May, the presenters in the first session are now going to listen, and those people that were listening will now present. So this is the map of the first floor. All the presentations will be on the first floor, and the presenters will stay in one place and the listeners will move around. So for example, if you are in Miss Cooper's group, and this is your normal room, the people will come and listen to your presentation from this direction, and then after they listen to your presentation, they will move around. And I will get into more detail with this as we get closer to the real presentations. So if you're a presenter, you're going to stay in the room. You'll present for 5 minutes on how your group investigated, planned, and took action. And you'll use this timer to kind of keep yourself on track. And when the timer sounds, the next group will come into your room, and you'll continue and do the presentation again. So you'll do your presentation 4 times as a presenter, and then if you were a presenter in the first half, then the second half you'll be a listener. So if you're a listener, like I said, you're going to move from classroom to classroom. You'll listen to 4 groups, and you'll keep rotating around the first floor in the order that I gave you. So one of the things that you might be thinking about is what can you share with them? And so I would really encourage you, for example, to use any of the resources that you've collected along the way of your project and use that to explain the process. How did your group get to where they are today? So this is some of the stuff from the library group, and you can see they're trying to make a plan to improve our library, and they did a lot of brainstorming. So they could use these posters in their presentations. They could share these proposals that they gave to the parent association. They could share a little bit of the presentation that they are giving to the principals to discuss what their group's been working on. They can share some of their research, okay, some of the things that they saw in other libraries that they thought was really cool. So all of this stuff would be relevant stuff to add to your presentations, to share in your presentation. You don't have to present in front of the room. You could have the people come around and people sharing the investigating, the planning. It's up to you to decide how you want to use your 5 minutes. So in the end, the plan is for each person to do 20 minutes of presenting and 20 minutes of listening. And obviously in a double lesson, with everyone moving around, I'm not sure exactly how much time will be left over. But if there is time, you should share with your group when you come back together what you saw in some of the other presentations. And once you see some of the other presentations, you might want to think about how well did you present compared to some of the other groups. Is your project something that might continue to go next year? And would you consider to do it again? And kind of those kind of things you can do in the final part when you've seen what everyone's done and you've gotten a chance to come back to your group. So hopefully this will help you to kind of get an idea of how long the presentations will go and kind of the structure, and you'll get more specific details as we get closer to May. Thanks.